people. Another beautiful day. Yeah. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? What's up, gamers? What's up, tech for gamers? Goodbye, Vita. Well, I guess Sony is like, really, Chris? Okay, here goes the PlayStation Q. Look, I think the Q is gonna be okay. For a handheld. But Sony can't overprice it. I think they probably keep it like in the $200 price range. Listen to this. Listen to this article I got from Tech for Gamers. It says here, PlayStation Project Q to be priced under $300, claims Microsoft. And it says might cost more than $200. PlayStation first handheld in over a decade was revealed last month during the PlayStation Showcase. The Project Q is a streaming device that allows users to stream games from the PS5 console. Then it says, however, Sony has not revealed more information about the handheld, and many users are concerned about the price of the handheld. Following Microsoft's upcoming case against the FTC, the gaming giant have hinted at this price. And then it says here, Microsoft believes that PlayStation Project Q will cost under $300. Sorry. Why it matters? While Project Q does not look very appealing, its price could make it a great buy for certain users. However, a price close to $300 may be too high for those interested in a handheld. And then it says the Project Q, designed as an accessory for the PS5 console, users can stream directly from the console, and it also includes features like haptic feedback from the DualSense controller. It says here, Tom Henderson's first leaked PlayStation Project Q. The leaker expects a price of $200 for the handheld, but Microsoft hint at a higher price. If PlayStation price the device closer to $300 mark, users may lose interest. Then it says around $300, the handheld would be very close to the price of a digital PS5. While both serve different functions, users may find it hard to justify a price most of the same as the digital console. And it says here, following a reveal, a report claimed the PlayStation 5 Project Q would include 4 hours of battery life. This has led to negative sentiments around PlayStation's first handheld in several here, but it remains to be seen if the device will perform well on the market. Well, that's the end of the article. Good article, Tech for Gamers. Look, PlayStation Q. Well, they probably take the features of the PSP, the Vita, and combine it with the Q, and they probably looked at the Wii U and saw what that brought to the table, and they probably took some ideas from that and then brought it all together with the Q. Streaming and remote play is a part of the game industry, and you need to have that feature. So PlayStation is trying to make sure that they have every base covered, with the PlayStation 5. Some PlayStation users is already using the Steam Deck, or they're probably using the Asus ROG Ally. Now, can you sync the Steam Deck with the PlayStation 5? And if you can, then you don't need the PlayStation Q. Or can you sync the PlayStation 5 with the Asus ROG Ally? And if you can do that, then you really don't need the Q. But if you don't have the Steam Deck or the PlayStation 5, then you might want to give the Q a try. Now pricing this thing is going to be important, because the Steam Deck and the Asus ROG, those handhelds are powerful handhelds, and they're running on full power. The Steam Deck, I think, is using RDNA 2, and the Asus ROG is using RDNA 3. They're both using 16 gigs of RAM, DDR5. DDR5, that is. The PlayStation Q now, if they're gonna price it around $200, then that means the specs of the Q probably is like half it should be like at least half of what the Steam Deck and the Asus ROG is. Steam Deck and Asus ROG bring to the table. So that's what they're gonna have to figure out when it comes to this Q. When it comes to the pricing. But some people might be turned off, like the article says, and others may not. So, streaming and remote play is a part of video games. So you need to have that for your users. Microsoft when they came out with the Xbox Series X and S, they had some razors, some controllers that you can connect to your connect to your cell phone. This is a Samsung Mega, the first big one. And you connect two controllers to your phone, and then play the games from your Xbox. So Microsoft was already on it. So Sony probably just realized this is still needed. I mean, sure, they learned from the PSP and the Vita, so they want to bring it back, And me personally, I thought they should have continued using the Vita, but they didn't, because the Vita handheld is pretty good, and they went away from it, and then brought their games to PC. So users who had the PlayStation 5 went and bought the Steam Deck or the Vita or the Asus, and now they got used to those handhelds. So when it comes to the Q now, it's like, okay, do I really need this? Okay, that's okay. Why would I get this when the Steam Deck or the Asus ROG is running on full power? So the PlayStation 5 users got a decision to make. Now, when it comes to the Wii U, Nintendo was ahead of the game with the Wii U, and the biggest problem with the Wii U, is not sales. The biggest problem with the Wii U was the 3DS, because Nintendo was trying to sell both a handheld that was cartridge, and then try to sell a handheld and console in one, which was using CD. So they needed to give that up and really focus on the Wii U. And the Wii U brought some interesting features to the table. And when you got your handheld with your console, you got every angle, every direction covered in video games. And your users needs, your user base needs are met based on the handheld and console that you have. So when it comes to the Wii U, Nintendo had it right. All they had to do was give up the 3DS. They really didn't need it. And the developers, they wasted their time putting games on the 3DS when they had the Wii U to deal with. And the games from the 3DS, they needed to be in the virtual console. That's where they need to be at. So is the 64, the GameCube, and the Wii. So the Wii U, Nintendo had it right. They should have stayed with the Wii U. They should have stayed with the Wii U and just keep on using it. When they went and built the Switch, they went backwards, they fell off, and they lost a lot of features. So they can't do the things that they want to do, so they're limited in what they can do. Now, PlayStation, now, they're like, you know what? We got to bring this, I guess they're like, okay, we got to bring this thing back because we need it, They probably seen how successful, they probably saw the reaction that their users got with the Steam Deck when they probably like sync the Steam Deck with they probably linked the Steam Deck with the PS5. And I guess they're like, you know what, we need to bring our handheld back to the market because there's a need for it. So they probably like build it like they're probably like, you know what, we can't build it as high as Valve's handheld, but we can bring it like in range of the, say, like the Steam Deck and the Asus ROG, and we can get it to do, like do the same things that the Steam Deck is doing, but at least we have our own handheld, so we can cover the streaming and remote play. So I think that's the reason why they're bringing it back, So we'll see what they do, but based on the picture that I'm looking at, it looks pretty good. You know, it's needed. You know, you have to have your if you got a user base, you have to have their needs covered and met. You know, you have to have every angle, every direction covered. I mean, covered. That's a must. You know, that way you can keep your base intact. So I think that's what PlayStation is trying to do with the Q, and then, you know, go on from there. But we'll see when it comes out. But they have to price this right, you know, because based on what the Steam Deck is doing right now, the Steam Deck is no joke, and so is the Asus ROG. So yeah, Asus ROG Ally. So Sony, they have to price this. They have to price it right. You know, probably like in the $200 price range. You know, or below 200. Probably in a $200 price range, to something, but it can't be 300 or more, because if they go 300, you know, their users are going to look at them like, wait a minute, you took your games and put them on Steam, put them on PC, and now, you know, you want us now to go. You put them on PC. We're enjoying the Steam Deck. We like the Asus. Now you want us now to buy the Q? You know, we can already we probably could already sync the Steam Deck or the Asus ROG with the PlayStation 5. You know, they have to price this right now. They have to price this right now. Is there a market for the Q? I think it is. I think so. Yeah, I think so. And you know, based off what people know about the Wii U now, I would say based off what people know about the Wii U, what they learned from it so far, there's a market for the Q. You know, so there are users that, you know, that like that dual screen feature. There are users that like that dual screen feature. So you know, they Sony might do pretty well with the with the Q, you know, but it remains to be seen. But you know what I'm saying. But like what the Steam Deck brought to the table, man, is, you know, it's impressive for what that handheld can do. So Sony has to take that in consideration now. Like, okay, we got our games on Steam. You know, people are playing their games on the Steam Deck. You know, we don't want to mess that up, you know, because we don't want to confuse our users. You know, like, wait a minute, we got our games on the Steam Deck or the Asus. Why should, you know, we don't want to confuse the users and have them thinking like, okay, wait a minute, why should we you know, have them thinking like, you know, why should we buy the Q when we like the Steam Deck and we like the Asus ROG? You know, so Sony, they got some. They need to explain it. You know, they need to explain their mission with the PlayStation Q. They really do. You know, so we'll see what they do. You know, when they come out with the thing. But so far, so good. And Nintendo probably watching this now. Nintendo probably watching this like, why did we go build a Switch? We should have never. They probably saying to themselves like, we should have never built the Switch. If Sony is successful with this with the Q, then Nintendo is going to be like, maybe we should have stayed with the Wii U. You know, maybe we should have. So we will see when this Q come out. But you know, streaming and remote play is needed in video games. You know? It's needed. It's really needed in video games right now. You know, especially for your user base. You know, you can't just have a console, but you don't have streaming. You can't just have a console and they play on the TV only. So now if that's what they're doing, then they're limited. You got to have the handheld part covered. But you know, and then that way their needs are met. So Sony need to price this right, but then they got to take into consideration too that you know, some of their users are using the Asus ROG or they're using the Steam Deck. You know? Yeah. Nintendo, on the other hand, if Sony has success with this, they're gonna realize that they messed up. And they're like, you know, we should have never came back down this road. It's like we had the answer in our possession, and we chose to go do something else, and now we're paying for it based on the success that we're seeing Sony having with the PlayStation Q. So when this thing comes out, we'll see how it does, man. But right now, so far so good. So we shall see, you know. Yeah. But yeah, but streaming and remote play right now is needed, especially if you're a console maker. You know, Microsoft knew this, so that's why Microsoft was like, okay, you know what? We got the console gaming covered, but we need to have that handheld feature covered too. So we're gonna let people use their cell phones as their handhelds and play their games, and it's working. So Sony probably saw that and said, wait a minute, we need to cover this. You know, we need to really cover this. So yeah. Nintendo, on the other hand, right now, they're probably gonna regret building the Switch. It's like maybe we made a mistake here. We should have stayed with the Wii U. You know. So yeah, we'll see when it comes out, man. But this thing, it looks pretty good though. It looks really good. It looks really good. And got a bigger screen. Got the PlayStation controllers. Yeah. You need that for your console, and I think the reason why I like the Q2 is because it covered what it accomplished what the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3 was trying to do. That's the other reason too. That's why I like it too. So I think they got it right, but now it's all about the pricing. And that's going to be the key. Anyway, latest video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Or Dark Side. Oh, God. Peace.